Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon at our webinar. We will be discussing if now is the time for digital transformation. We are just waiting for one or two more speakers to join us, and we will shortly begin our seminar this afternoon. Thank you. While we're waiting for our speakers, some of our housekeepings for the seminar this afternoon is that you will notice we have a live comment section. So should you have any questions that you would like to address to our speakers, please do so at our comment section. Now, remember to please tell us who the question is for and also what the question is. You'll be amazed how many people forget to let us know who the question is addressed to. So it'll be difficult to reply them. Now, should time allows, we will try to address all questions if possible. If not, we will come back to you at a later stage collectively. Thank you. I see that we've actually got quite a few online. We have 41 guests online joining in today. Hello, everyone. So next to me, we have Dr. Shen, who will be doing a presentation for us later. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Welcome.
So if you are just joining in, we will begin shortly. We have actually muted all your microphones just in case we have an outburst of sound to maintain the quality of our webinar. So, but if you have any questions or any comments, please do so using the comment section, and we will try to address them during Q&A session. I see that our chairperson, Mr. Jacob Lee Chokok, is also online with us. Hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. And also Martin, hello, our first speaker of the day. I'm so sorry. We'll just give us a few moments and we'll be with us shortly with our event. I would imagine that most of our online guests at the moment is coming from Malaysia and Taiwan. Is that correct? I think that's quite correct. It is extremely hot today here in Taipei. So here with us today here at Taipei, we will be having three speakers. One of them will be joining us a little bit later. But presently we have Dr. Shen and Ms. Lin from Delta Electronics. So at the moment, we are ready from Taipei side. I would just like to say thank you so much once again to join us at our seminar or webinar this afternoon. And our topic is whether enough now is the time for digital transformation. And this program is actually brought to you by the Taipei Computer Association, in short TCA, as well as the Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers, in short FMM. And it's supported by the Industry Development Bureau of the Ministry of Economic Affairs here in Taiwan. Now, before we start off with our event, I would like to sincerely welcome the chairperson, the chairman of FMM Industry 4.0 Committee, Mr. Jacob Lee Chokok, for opening remarks. Mr. Chairman, the floor is yours. Thank you.
digital transformation. Well, I think the theme is very appropriate. I think the pandemic has probably accelerated the digital adoption by the industry. First of all, on behalf of FMM, I would like to thank Taipei Computer Association for collaborating on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, although most of the businesses are having a big challenge in facing the new norm caused by COVID-19, it turns out that this pandemic has been the greatest catalyst for digital transformation. Traditional supply chains and manufacturing ecosystem have become obsolete and need to be improved on a more adaptable, agile solution that is fully digitally enabled. The difference between new and traditional way of manufacturing is the digitalizations of the entire manufacturing processes, featuring cyber physical streams and Internet of Things, IoT, and integrating computer and physical processes such as automation and robotics. Industry 4.0 is a journey that requires lots of resources from human capital to capital investments. To embark on this journey, manufacturers are required to prepare for lots of fine-tuning in our operation processes, or even prepare to fail, learn from our failures, and continue to fine-tune in order to come up to an amicable solution. In Malaysia, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry has developed a national policy for Industry 4.0 called the Industrial Forward. The national policy on Industry 4.0 charged Malaysia's digital transformation in the manufacturing and service sectors. As a policy, the Industry Forward provides an agile framework that will remain relevant in the future with 4 specific overarching goals. Number 1, we want to drive continuous growth in the manufacturing, increase our contributions to the national GDP. Number 2, increase the national productivity. Number 3, create high-skill employment opportunities. And lastly, number 4, to raise innovation capabilities and competitiveness. The overarching philosophy of Industry Forward is threefold. Number 1, to attract stakeholders to Industry 4.0 technologies and processes. Create the right ecosystem for Industry 4.0 technologies to be adopted and to nurture innovations. Number 3, to transform capabilities of the manufacturing industry to be Industry 4.0 ready. Well, I'm glad this afternoon we have our friend from Taiwan to share with us the Taiwanese technology, being the industry drivers and the leaders of the technological change. I think there are a lot of things that the Taiwanese sectors could offer to Malaysia. According to a New Straits Times report on June 5th, 2020, our Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin announced that the government has allocated ringgit Malaysia 1.2 billion under the short-term economic recovery plan to drive Malaysia's economic recovery through the process of digitalizing local business. The fund will be used to foster innovation and develop domestic venture capital. And the initiatives done by the government is to attract more companies to adopt and move forward to Industry 4.0. Not only Malaysia, I believe that the government support in Taiwan for Industry 4.0 is also very strong and has been the major contributor for Taiwan to now become an industrial and innovation powerhouse through continuous R&D and investment into the latest and emerging technologies. We're very fortunate this afternoon. We have the expert from Taiwan to share with us their latest technology. In the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report 2019, Taiwan was placed number 12 among 141 countries. where Malaysia was ranked at 27th position. I hope that there will be more Taiwan-Malaysia collaborative efforts will take place to create awareness towards Industry 4.0, especially digital transformation. Before I end my speech, I would like to express my deepest appreciation for the speaker today, for taking time off from your busy schedule to share your expertise with all of us. I want to give thanks to Mr. Martin Moeller, members of FMM Industry 4.0 Committee. Thank you, Martin. And from our Taiwan side, we have Mr. David Chiang, the moderator from TCA, Mr. Sam Shen from the Institute for Information Industry, Taiwan, and Ms. Charlene Lin from Delta Electronics, Mr. Eric Low from NexAIoT. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to all the participants today for attending this webinar. I am confident that the knowledge and experience to be imparted by the speaker today will be of great value to all of you, and have a fruitful day ahead. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Operator, Mr. David.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Mr. Chairman. And indeed, I think personally, now it is definitely the perfect time for digital transformation, especially in consideration of the pandemic situation we have at the moment. We are quite fortunate at the moment here in Taiwan that you don't see us wearing masks. The situation has been toned down a little bit, but that's not to say that we have to continuously be mindful of prevention. And in that light, I think in terms of corporate side, especially in manufacturing, it is important to address this issue in a different angle, how we can improve and how we can reduce the negative effects of crises such as COVID-19 in the future, so that we can cope and perhaps be even more responsive and not being affected so much. So thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and we hope sincerely that through these bilateral events that we have, we will definitely have more interchanges and comments and collaborations between Taiwan and Malaysia. Definitely. Thank you so much. So before we continue further, if you're just joining us, we are super happy for you to come in to our program today. If you have any questions that you would like to address to our speakers, please do so using the comment section. And remember to please tell us who the question is for, and also what the question is. So let me get on to our first speaker. We have Mr. Martin Miller Abdullah from IME Technology. Now, IME Technology is a member of FMM Industry 4.0 Committee. And a little bit about FMM that we have taken to study is that it is founded in 1968, representing over 10,000 corporate members. Now, that is quite impressive. It's a huge, huge scope of business operators. So we are extremely delighted to have invited Martin to share his insights on the industry opportunities and development trends in Malaysia. Martin, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to share my screen if this is possible. Yeah, there we go. And let me just get up my slides. Okay, there we go. So thank you very much for inviting. It's a big pleasure for me and very happy that I got the opportunity to speak in this esteemed event. It's every time new to have something like a webinar. Today we are in a webinar with Taiwan and all, and it's very new for all of us, and it's also exciting. I think the digital transformation, as Jacob Lee has mentioned before, is really accelerating. And today we are sitting in our own room and we're having a big conference like this one. And I have done this in the last few weeks. It is really exciting to see all what the digital transformation brings. Now let me go through in my presentation. I will start first a little bit about myself and then where I'm working, so that you can see my background that I have gained together with the company IME. So, and then we will go into the opportunities that actually we are having in Malaysia, and then also a bit of the development trends and also the role of FMM, especially in the enhancing the Industry 4.0 and promoting Industry 4.0 in the country. Now, a bit about myself. My name is Martin. I'm living in Malaysia since quite some time, 9 years already. So many know me already that I'm more Malaysian than German. That is what the usually comments is. So that is a bit about my background. I'm a technical manager. I have studied engineering in Germany. And as I said, I have mainly done the last few years all about transformation, digitalization, and all in the fields of automation and so on. Now, let me talk a bit about the company that I'm working with, IME Technology or IME Group of Companies, and quick summary what we are doing and how is our journey. And you will see already that we have gone through a journey by itself towards digital transformation. So actually, we are a technology company. That means we are a technology enabler, a process optimizer, and a system integrator. So overall, in whole Malaysia, we actually have more than 150 people in various locations. And we have people from 8 countries and also from 3 different continents, which for a Malaysian SME, I would say it is quite a unique situation. And that makes us actually very vibrant because we have so many cultural influences and so many different thoughts and experience through all our team members. What makes us also unique is actually we have 68% of engineering and scientific degree in our company. The third one is engineering is our passion. So we are serving actually 12 industries in Malaysia. We have more than 2,000 customers in Malaysia alone. So these industries are ranging from food and beverage, automation, automotive industry, mold and die. So it's a very wide spectrum actually that we are using. Now we are strong together with partners. So from the very beginning, IME Group of Companies is working together with international partners from Europe, from US. We have strong collaboration, and usually we are working together with the top technology leader worldwide. And we are more than 37 years old already, so that is actually a very long record. So that we actually having been constantly evolving and constantly improving in our journey. Now, a little bit about the journey that IME go through. So actually, we are typically started as a one-man company with service in tool and machine repair. So actually, we have done machining in the very beginning. So repair, service, and enhancement of conventional machining to CNC machining. The second one was then in the 80s, in the 90s, that we changed to CAD/CAM CAE technology. So as you can see, we are one of the major distributor for Mastercam, SolidWorks, CATIA. Then in the 2000s, we become more a solution provider and consultancy services. That means we started with product lifecycle management. So you can see already since the last 20 over years, we are actually in the business of digital transformation in terms of processes, in terms of rapid prototyping, in terms of training that we have set up already. And now the latest trend, so the last 10 years, we have our own R&D. So we do our own software development, we do our own system integration, and also our Industry 4.0 implementation. Now, what is our major focus? Just to summarize the whole activities of IME Group of Companies. So we are looking in artificial intelligence. We are working there already. Autonomous robots, simulation, digitization, Internet of Things, additive manufacturing, big data analytics is also what we have started, automation, augmented reality, and system integration. So you can see our overall focus as a group of companies is really driving the digital agenda and moving the industry in Malaysia on a digital pathway to the So having that said a bit about the IME group of companies, I would like to share a bit the industry opportunities that we see in Malaysia and how we can leverage on that. Now, let me first share a bit a pyramid, because there's always a little bit of confusion sometimes between what is digitization, what is digitalization, and what is digital transformation. So first of all, and that is actually a great point, and we will see this later in the survey that FMM has conducted, the major fundamental principle is digitization. So before we go into digital transformation, we need to digitize our content first. That could be forms, that could be processes, that could be various kind of applications that today are still manual recorded. Now, digitization is the first step towards a digital transformation. Now, once we have done the digitization, then only we can go into digitalization. So that means we go even deeper, we creating the content directly digitally, and we share information across. And lastly, the digital transformation is really our whole ecosystem is fully supported by digital tools and digital ways of communication. So you can see already there is a huge opportunity in Malaysia, and I think worldwide, that companies need to start with digitization, move towards digitalization, and actually finally come to a digital transformation overall. Now, how do we define the whole ecosystem? The whole ecosystem can be defined in 3 categories. That is 1, technologies, 2nd, experiences, and 3rd, digital assets. So let me explain one by one a bit in deeper. Now, technologies is today what we have on our fingertips. So I think that's why I always say, people ask me, what is the best technology? Of course, the best technology is that what we provide, so to say. But it doesn't matter actually, because the best technology is always at our fingertips. So technology is not everything. However, everything is technology. So we need to understand that actually without technology, we cannot move forward in this digital transformation. Now, technology can be very different from various fields, from various backgrounds, and from various suppliers and contributors. Technology is only one of the pillars that I want to share. Now, we have a wide portfolio that we can see in our group of companies in terms of various technologies. The next step is actually experience. Experience is something that becomes more and more important in the digital era. Today, everyone is talking actually about user experience. And I give always one example from what is so typical, and I think you know the company. It is the one with the Apple. Yeah. So this company has transformed actually already towards this way in terms of experience. So Apple itself has actually not only customer, they have followers. I mean, look at them. People are waiting in front of an Apple store one day before the new iPhone or the new iPad or whatever is launched, just to get it from them. So this is a topic of experience. So users want to have product not because of the product per se, but actually because of the experience that they gain with it. Now, user experience in terms of digital transformation is very, very important. So you can see already, and I think most of you have experienced this, when you buy a software or when you use a software, somehow this software can connect to you or it cannot connect to you. You like it or you don't like it. So this is more of the experience that actually we have. Now we need to transform this into both worlds. One is the user experience in terms of end user. That means, like I said just now, the iPhone that Apple is providing to each of one of you. The other thing is we also need to gain similar experience in our shop floors. So imagine we cannot make the technology too complex. The user will not accept it. So when we go into the shop floor area in terms of the working area, we need to also define great user experience in our software and our digital transformation, that the user feel it is seamlessly, it is easy to use, it is easy to understand. Now, the last point is digital assets. So usually I would ask a question here, what do you think? Are your physical assets or your digital assets are more important or more valid to you? Maybe you can give me a short feedback in the chat box. What do you think? Is digital assets more valid to you or the real assets? What do you think? Maybe the organizer can help me to see some of the feedbacks. Is the digital assets more valid or is the real assets more valid? Maybe I wait for a few minutes, a few seconds. Just give a comment in the chat box and maybe the organizer can help me to summarize this a bit for me. What is the feedback that we are getting from the participants?
At the moment, we don't have anything yet. Oh, okay. We have Adam Terry Tao saying that both are important.
Both are important. Okay, great. Yeah. So maybe it's a bit slow with the feedback. I move on. So, but think about this question. Yeah. What is more important, the digital asset or the physical assets? So in the past 30 years, we would have said that maybe the physical assets are more important. Now, studies have shown that till the year 2040, as between 2030 to 2040, that digital assets might be more valid than physical assets. And that is a really important point. Because when we talk about digital assets, we are not talking only about some document, or Excel sheet or something. No, we actually talk about your IP and your understanding of how you optimize your whole production and your whole process flow, because all is on a digital level. So you see now that all your current flow that you have on paper become digitally. So this is actually your asset. This is what you become more valid for you. Now also digitally in terms of knowledge, experience. The major question in the country that I'm coming from, Germany, because we have a very aging population, the major question is there, how can we capture the knowledge and experience from the workforce who is now 45, 50, 55, 60 years old? Because these people will drop out in the next few years out of our manufacturing line. And they have years of experience. And we get young people, maybe 10, maybe 20, 30 years old, and we expect they perform on the same level like a 60 years old experienced worker. Now, this is the challenge where your digital assets play an important role. How actually you can capture the experience from current work, their years of experience, and transform it into digital assets. And that makes the value for your company later. So in overall, what is the opportunity from a digital perspective? And I like to share this slide here. I have shared this many times. The overall perspective, and this is only an example, in your case, it can be actually more in depth. Yeah. What we can achieve in digital transformation at the highest level is actually a full integration on the horizontal as well as on the vertical level. Now, this requires a lot of study that IME technology has done before in terms of how we manage data. So it's not only we can just install one ERP system and everything is settled. That would be too easy, to be frank. And it would be not successful. Now, sharing with you a bit our strategies today that you can see what you actually need to prepare and to do. Now, we start always on a very, very low level. It's actually level 0, 1, and 2. This is sensor, PLC, and SCADA system. So, of course, only usually 2 areas, let me point this out, only 2 areas like production and engineering would actually make use out of that. Now, in terms of sensor, maybe only production would use. Sensors, however, create a huge amount of data. And the challenge today is how we store this data. Now, in the past, I can share this with you in my experience when I was working in Germany. We had a challenge to store the data of the sensors in a good manner. Now, what was the major challenge? The major challenge was actually that the sensors produce too much data. So when you think they can produce, for example, a vibration sensor, 1,000 data sets per second. So it would be huge amount of data that we are storing. Now, today we can do that because we have the capacity, but 10, 15 years ago, we don't have the capacity. We reduce the amount of data. Now, if we would send this data right away to the highest level, to the top level here, we would have a really overflow in our ERP system. So actually, the challenge is not only to link software together, but to define a proper way how you actually manage your data. So from your sensors, we will divide certain data to go to the MES, certain data to go to your WMS, to the APS, the Advanced Planning and Scheduling. So when you can see here, we have your raw sensor data. They move a next level, which is the manufacturing process relevant data. And from there, we actually move to the top layer, which is our decision-making data, like CAD/CAM, CAE, PLM, and ERP. Now you can see when you want to start a digital transformation process we are talking today about, as I shared before, first is you need to digitize, second is to digitalize, and then only you can move towards a digital transformation of your whole company. So data management and data processing along the vertical line and also across various departments is crucial for you. However, this is the opportunities that we have, because this is where we need to have strong partnerships across the world, I would say, across Asian especially, because without these partnerships, we cannot move the industry forward. So that is a bit about my summary, that what I give for the industry opportunities. Now I want to share a little bit the trends in terms of also what FMM and especially the Industry 4.0 committee has worked on and supported the industry. Now, first of all, let's see a little bit of data, because we talk so much about digital transformation, and digital transformation without data is not a digital transformation. So digital transformation requires always data. And we have done a survey from FMM together with MIR. MIR is our National Institute of Economic Research in Malaysia. And you can see some of the figures that are coming out. Is very impressive. Now, what you can see here, training and upskilling is one of the most important area that we need to work on. 74% have acknowledged that. And the next one is actually upgrading machinery and equipment with 71%. Now, I personally think that this two is really the major challenge, not only in Malaysia, but it's all over the world. Because we cannot just buy new equipment. That would not make necessarily sense from investment point of view. So upgrading and upscaling or training or reskilling is actually the way forward for the overall the manufacturing industry. I believe very strongly in that. Increase technical workers and conduct R&D. You can see here, this is in the range of 30 to 40%, as well as implementing lean management systems. This is already moving towards becoming more than just a production company. So when you conduct your own R&D, that is what I'm saying just now, you build your own IP. It's not only you build a product, you build also a digital asset. So you can see directly what I shared just now. There's the review or the feedback from the industry is actually capturing that. Yeah? And last but not least, this is more to optimization in terms of downsize the workforce. That is, of course, if I have a higher level of automation, I can reduce my workforce. And of course, something in Malaysia, and I think worldwide, Industry 4.0 is actually the driver for TVETs, because we need special trained technicians and also diploma students that can already operate the new way of automation system. And last but not least, this is something in Malaysia special, that is the use of the Cerium Fraunhofer technology audit. That is something that we can actually go through with Cerium. That is something like TUV in Germany or other verifiers in the region. And Fraunhofer, I think, is well known, is a German institute. They have come out with a technology audit, so to enhance where, or to analyze where the companies can enhance their productivity. Now, having this said, this all is bringing productivity business strategies forward. And the next trend is a bit what I want to share with you, especially with our friends from Taiwan who are in this webinar today, how we have done so far and what is the consideration of the next step. So you can see here the dark one is already that companies have done this already in Malaysia. Yeah, so in terms of automation, 34% have started this already. And additionally, 33% looking into this field. So I have given only the top 6, just to give you an indication where we are heading. The other one, like big data, autonomous robot, 3D printing, simulation, artificial intelligence, augmented reality. These 6, I think, is need to be a bit more in-depth analysis. To be frank, it's too short to discuss this here due to the time given. But in generally, this one is a very complex topics here, which is very specific. So I don't want to touch into that. But what you can see is actually companies have already started into automation, system integration, cloud computing, cybersecurity, digitization, as I mentioned before, and IoT. Now, I don't want to look too much on that. You can see that it's pretty much there. Interesting is here, the digitization and IoT sector. So digitization, many companies, a few companies have started already. However, there is a huge area which actually companies need support and want to start towards this transformation. And this can be seen a bit more when we did the analysis of the data in detail. So in terms of Industry 4.0, the most respondents are considering automation, industrial Internet of Things, and digitization to enhance their competitiveness. So you can really see the feedback even from the companies who participate in this survey are looking actually in these 3 things: automation, Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, and digitization. So then further other strategies considered: system integration, big data, cloud computing, and so on. For those who have already implemented Industry 4.0, it was towards automation. That's why it is on the top of the list. And then followed by system integration, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and digitization. Now to finish, to come towards a little bit the end of my presentation, I just want to wrap up a bit from FMM point of view, the effort that FMM has gone through together with the Industry 4.0 committee in promoting and supporting Industry 4.0 in Malaysia. So you can see already in March 2017, this is now 3 years ago, we set up the FMM Industry 4.0 committee. That is a very big starting point for all of us in FMM. We had the first FMM Industry 4.0 conference in October 2017. So we get ready for Industry 4.0. The second Industry 4.0 conference, the Industry 4.0 and Digitization and FMM Digital Manufacturing Hub, the MOU with MDEC. MDEC is a Malaysian agency where we work together towards digitalization. And then in October 2018, we co-organized the launch of Industry Forward. The Industry Forward is actually the national agenda from MITI, our ministry to foster and to encourage digital transformation and participation in Industry 4.0. And in November 2018, we had the official launch signing with CIRIM and Industry 4.0 related activity. Now, of course, even beyond November 2018, the activities have been going on. So we have actually every quarter our Industry 4.0 meeting to share and to leverage on each and other's experience, to see where the companies need support, where the industry needs support from FMM. And I think that is a very big support and a very big effort that we all putting in there to help especially the SME and other industries in Malaysia to succeed in the Industry 4.0. Beside that, and that is my last slide to summarize all our activities, we have been not only doing Industry 4.0, but we also have been heavily involved. And I think Jacob and I know what it means, heavily involved. I think he will smile now about the 5G task force in Malaysia. So actually, Mr. Jacob Lee was a member of the task force committee, and actually the head of the business case working group. So Mr. Jacob Lee has actually organized various industries. I think it's too long to name them all here, but from healthcare to manufacturing to agriculture, to really give a big picture in terms of what 5G can provide in terms of enhancing and improving the current situation for these sectors. And myself, I have worked very closely with local companies and local solution providers, as well as international solution providers in a sub-working group for manufacturing. So we identified already certain area which is actually good to go for 5G as a supporting infrastructure element, very important to actually leverage on Industry 4.0 and fully enhance on the possibilities and the opportunities. So I think overall, FMM has played a great role towards the adoption and towards the integration from Industry 4.0 with its committee members, and also in supporting and giving real feedback to the government and to the government agencies to enhance and to really give the best to the Malaysian manufacturing committee or manufacturing society and manufacturing field in terms of really adapting the new strategies there. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you could hear me loud and clear. Yeah, there's always a little bit challenging now, the new norm in terms of video conferencing. We cannot see our feedback, our reaction from our participants. So maybe you can give me a thumbs up, or I don't think we have thumbs down. So give me a thumbs up. So at least I can see, yeah, thank you, thank you. I can see a little bit of emoji reactions. Yeah, so we have to learn also to get to use emoji reactions so far. So that's from my side. I give back to the organizer. And if there's any question, please feel free. I think I have addressed this before. If you have any question, you should ask them now, because I'm heading to another conference virtually also. So this is the new norm. We're jumping now not from physical space anymore, but from virtual space to virtual space. So that's the challenge nowadays. So thank you very much. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask now.
Thank you so much, Martin. That is correct. I think this is also part of the process of digital transformation, is that you no longer jump in physical spaces, but virtual meeting rooms. To come back to Martin, I know that you are leaving for next meeting. Previously, you addressed on the digital assets against physical assets. So we had a comment from Yao Moi Tian. I think this is a lady. So Yao feels that digital asset is more valid or more important to current modern business world, given its ability to reach wider target audience in a broadless way. So that is Yao's comments to your question. So I think it's a from your presentation, to my takeaway is that digital transformation is a gradual thing. It comes in steps, as you have mentioned, in three steps: digitalization, digitalization, and then digital transformation. So that is my takeaway, and I hope that our audiences find it very useful as well. Oh, sorry, I see Martin wishes to be unmute. Can we please unmute Martin? Thank you so much for having not yet jumped to another virtual space. Have we unmuted Martin for us? Unmuted. So Martin would like to speak. So can we? Okay, I think Martin has left. Okay. Well, if you have any questions for Martin, please feel free to drop them down at the comment section, and we'll make sure Martin gets the questions and come back to ASAP. So thank you so much for that. Oh, is Martin still here? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I am still here. I'm still here. That's why I just muted myself, because I didn't know that I don't want to have any interference. So that's why I muted myself, but I didn't know that I could not unmute myself anymore. So this is also technology sometimes here and there. So any questions is there? Any questions that I should answer?
At the moment, we don't see anything from outside yet, but I think they might still come as we move forward in the session.
We can move forward, and should there be any questions, I will be sure that my friend Jacob will be helping to forward this to me, so that I can give a reply on that. So that would be not a problem. So he's nodding his head, so I know he has understand me. Okay, thank you very much. I take off for this webinar. I wish you all another fruitful session with the rest of the participants. And I hope I see you all soon, maybe in a digital transformation project. So this is always the wish of a company, that we get business in challenging times. And I think very true, we all need to move to a digital transformation area in our businesses. And thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Martin. And I'm sorry that we had to mute you by mistake. But thank you so much. And we will definitely come back to you should we have any questions addressed to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for that. That was a very insightful sharing on the current status and trends and opportunities from Malaysia. Now, our second speaker is Dr. Sam Shen. He is the Senior Director of the Institute for Information Industry, III. Now, it is founded in 1979, one of the most important think tanks in Taiwan with research capability. So one of their missions is to research advanced ICT technology, also researching in services of the industry, as well as to lead the development of digital economy, as well as to facilitate the innovative industrial transformation. So with me, next to me today, we have Dr. Shen, who is going to share with us his insights on the industry opportunity and development trends in Taiwan. So Dr. Shen, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator and Mr. Chairman and previous speaker, everyone. Hello, afternoon from Taipei. This is my great honor to be present here, because I recall myself, I went to Kuala Lumpur probably in 2012 for some APEC seminar in Kuala Lumpur, and that was a very good experience. Today, for the next around 20 minutes, I would like to share the experience. I will introduce myself and my work experience. Since this is a very important key issue about the digital transformation as well as the manufacturing industry, I think Taiwan has a very good example or experience, and I also like to share the example for how the government public sector look on this industry trend, and how do government can help I would like to share some of the experience which I worked for Triple I for almost 20 years. I'm really happy to share this experience. So before I introduce myself, actually Triple I stand for Institute for Information Industry. It's one of the major Taiwan research institute. Actually, it's a quasi-government organization. Actually, we are not government organization. Actually, we help government to formulate a lot of industry policy to cope with the competition for many technologies. And the division I've been working is MIC, Market Intelligence and Consulting. And many friends make jokes on that. MIC, if you know that, also stand for Made in China. So we do a lot of product market survey, which are they are made in China. But the point is they are still made by Taiwan, which means that all the design, manufacturing, even for the global logistics, is still done by Taiwanese company. I like to share in my presentation is that for the past 4 years, there's a very important project in Taiwan. Actually, government support a lot of industry company. So everybody, Taiwan is very well known for its manufacturing power about the ICT product. Many of computer, many cellular phone, a lot of telecommunication device are also made by Taiwanese company. However, suffering by the global economic trend or maybe for the COVID-19 in the current time. So there's some kind of industry policy angle we like to help from the government point of view to transfer, I use the word transfer some kind of business model for those ICT manufacturers. So in my presentation, actually I will spend a couple minutes to share the experience for all of you, which maybe we can join to discuss some of the critical points. So I will, in my presentation, I'd like to share some of the general ICT industry outlook of Taiwan. As most of you know that it's very good at manufacturing, but we are facing some kind of challenges. So in second part of my presentation is like we do some kind of transformation. Probably it's industry level as well as the enterprise level from many angles of the turn into from supply chain concept into ecosystem concept. Then I will give some two examples. One is from intelligent transportation systems as well as smart city as a sample for the strategy that we used to do for the past few years. Then the second part, I like to share some challenge or example for what we have been done, so some kind of solution here in Taiwan. For those of you, have you been to Taiwan or actually most of, even now today, most of the ICT product is still made by Taiwanese company. We have a very high percentage, more than 80%, 70% of the major ICT product is still made by Taiwanese company. So, but we are facing that kind of challenge, which one is the decrease of the demand from the market, as well as the increase of the cost or kind of complexity of manufacturing. So the previous speaker mentioned about the Industry 4.0. Actually, we have a lot of government program actually to support industry to do these things. So I think it's a very important thing to such a big industry sector in Taiwan. Actually, the ICT sector contribute, I think, it's the major part of Taiwan economic growth. So, so there's a very important role for Taiwan's global economic growth. So, I'd like to share the one of the major example is. I need to move to next slide. Yeah. Okay. the transform of Taiwan's economic, you can see from the left-hand side from early 1950s all the way to the 2000s. Actually, we are facing a very big challenge because facing the digital economy, which means manufacturing is only a part of the economy, but we need to add on more value. Okay, based on this concept, I think this is very important to share to all of you the experience that Taiwan has been promoted by the government sector, which means we use those four major elements. Innovation, the government encouraged innovation as well as the globalization capability through all kinds of programs. But we also, on the left-hand side, we construct a very solid network. It's not physical network, could be industry network, could be personal network, because we have a lot of students study abroad, we have a lot of joint venture all over the world. So that kind of network is very, very important. On the left hand side, the connection about the logistics, because 98% of Taiwan's business are SMEs, small business. So there's a government's responsibility to support a small company can do business worldwide. That's very important key for Taiwan's successful for the past few decades. This is the one slide I like to share more time to introduce that this is a very important policy trend here in Taiwan. Representing a major industry growth trend. On the left-hand side, everybody knows Lego, right? You have children since you are very young, you are playing Lego. So on the left-hand side, most of the Taiwanese company or some Asian company, they are very good at making those parts, component, experts in terms of volume, in terms of quality, time to market, they are experts. But nowadays, the real world, they need the complete solution, which is the right-hand side of the slide. So there's a lot of company, so-called system integrator. Maybe they are very difficult to do business on the right-hand side because they are, for some reason, they are all occupied by U.S. company, European big company as well as. So there's some business opportunity in the middle, which means there are some kind of module or subsystem company. So if Taiwan can reshape or upskill their technology or so-called manufacturing skill from the left-hand side into in the middle part of side, that will cause increase the margin or more and more business or service-related business to increase. Then even we can ship to those solutions to overseas markets. And we need to work with our international partners. So this will be a very good example. For the past 4 years, there are several very good successful examples that they not only ship their product, but they put some solutions, which means service, softwares, as well as some kind of telecom service into a final smart solution to work with the local partners. For example, they ship some transportation system to Thailand, to Philippines, and work with those local dealers. So we are not just selling our product only, but we need to work with international partners together. On the second part of this slide, you can see government provides some kind of opportunity to support the local company to do some kind of field testing from small scale field testing. For those of you, if you come to Taiwan, you know Taiwan is a very interesting living environment, food, transportation, commercial. So we have a lot of application from IT technology. So we select some of the very useful or interesting small and medium test field so that they get some proof of the application. For example, smart parking or ETC, toll collection. And we have a lot of successful story in terms of technology stability, the scale, the highway in Taiwan. Every day, as I know, there are more than 15 million vehicles traveling north from south. So how do you build that very sustainable, reliable toll collecting system? It's not only the hardware component. You have to work with some service provider, telecommunications service company together. Then we can have a very good so-called smart solutions. So this is one example. If you come to Taiwan, almost every highway, we don't need any kind of human toll collection anymore. It's free land, and you can collect. They can calculate automatically the car information and deduct the toll from your bank account. So this is not just we sell the technology and component. Actually, it's a new system integration result, and we get a very good result. So currently we are working with many foreign countries for this kind of, but we also need local partner contribute together. So this is not we are just selling our product to overseas. Actually, we need a domestic partner work together. And also in the so-called intelligence transportation, the mobility as a service, this become very popular right now. The basic foundation is the cellular phone. It's very, very convenient and capable, so that we can cross many different kind of service, different kind of transportation platform. They can do very good intelligence service for the citizen. And here, if you come to Taiwan, Taipei, you know it's very easy to use the rent a bike or even now motorcycle and car or all kinds of different type of transportation. Very, very convenient. So actually, what I mean to like to imply is this is the total solution. We need to have some component parts into product plus service plus government policy support. This is very, very important for you. And actually, they have some security smart station for your reference. And one thing is it's a shared economy world. To achieve that is you don't if you just have bicycle motorcycle, it's not enough. You must have a very strong back end support from battery exchange information to looking for where is available parking place, all kind of things. You have to deal with some so many software company to work together to achieve that kind of convenient life goal from the government. Okay, so as a short summary, that I think Taiwan is we use thing with ourselves is the global ICT product provider, and we welcome all the buyers to come to Taiwan to purchase those products. But not anymore. I think Taiwan is not only for the product provider, but today we are become a very good so-called smart solution provider. But we need to work with local partners together to penetrate some other market together. I think this is a very, very important part of the industry policy. In the attachment, actually, I am including several examples. For your reference, there are some selected system integration for the highway system, for the public bicycle system, smart education, smart campus. Actually, this is from Delta, many company providers, and smart lighting. It's not used convert traditional light bulb into LED. Actually, smart lighting, we can do a lot of advanced technology from just lighting, street light only. And for the healthcare, actually, I like to echo the last previous speaker according to the invisible assets. Recently, I participated one Taiwanese government project. Actually, our government is to support the artificial intelligence development. Actually, we support a new startups for AI. They are all new company, young people. And the major focus area is healthcare. So as in this case, I think the digital assets is extremely important because the new startup company, they don't have too much physical assets. This is compared with 20 years ago, when I was in Triple we support a lot of Taiwanese software company. At that time, there's a very big debate by that time because they don't know how to invest a software company, because invest a hardware company, you can easily look at the assets, production line, manufacturing equipment, stock, a lot of things. But in terms of you want to invest a software company, they are all invisible assets, which means it's the idea, it's the talent for those young people. So how do you evaluate the potential value? I think Taiwan is lucky because we nowadays we have a lot of very good software company, but I think this will be the same model that is currently is not easy to evaluate so-called the digital asset, the value of digital asset. But I think from the AI, from medical service field, the data will be the first thing, first important thing. But the quality of the data, the source of the data, the amount of the data, as you know, the AI machine learning, sometimes you must have hundreds of billions of data in order to train the model. But in the same model, in the manufacturing industry, probably you will have a very huge data from the production line, from different kind of equipment. So how do you use those AI technology model to train those data into a very useful value add data supporting system? That is the value of the company. So I think in many solution example I provide here, actually they are very capable, very promising company. They will be very good in maybe next 5 or 10 years. Okay, that will conclude my presentation, and thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shen. It's always a very lively presentation by you. We normally hear you speak in Chinese, but this is actually my first time listening to your English presentation. Thank you so much. Certainly, MIC is sometimes we could misinterpret that into made in China, but like you said, most of actually the products are made by companies from Taiwan. So following that trend, that thought, we now have presentation from both think tanks from Taiwan and from Malaysia. It would be a good idea to listen to speakers now from our industry side. So for our third speaker, we have Ms. Charlene Lin, who is the director from Delta Electronics Incorporated, and the company is actually founded in 1971. Now, to my knowledge, Delta has 3 major product line or solution categories. So please correct me if I'm wrong. The first one is power electronics. Second one, automation. Third one is infrastructure in the ICT sector, the energy sector, as well as industrial sector. So thank you. So I did my homework. So it will be very interesting to learn from you on your presentation regarding the guide to achieving light-out manufacturing for factories. Ms. Lin, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm Charlene Lin, and I'm from the Delta company. Yeah, did you know how much benefit we achieving from the manufacturer? The answer is over 80% manpower saving and 2.4 times the benefit from the smart manufacturer. Okay, so today I will show you some topic about a guide to achieving light-out manufacture for your factory. Okay, before today's presentation, I want to use 2 slides to introduce my company, Delta. Delta founding in 1971. Sometimes we can say we are the worst leader in switching power supplies and the DC brushless fans. Our mission is to be provide.
因为我们现在现场的声音有点就是听不太到，所以你可以先用这个当麦克风。对。
Okay. 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 Sorry. Okay. Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay. I just say my company mission is to provide innovative, clean, and energy efficient solution to for a better tomorrow. So based on this mission, so we use our core competence in energy saving. So let's to integrate the power, electronic power, and the automation. Our company so far till now, we have a good performance. So you can see the slide that the worldwide consolidated sales revenue was $9 billion in 2019. Okay. This is our business category. Just like the host say, that we have 3 categories. One is the power electronics, the other is automation, and the other is infrastructure. So today I will focus on the industry automation and a few parts from the building automation. Lights out factory, the elements. Till now, my company focus on the smart manufacturer. So you will see our smart manufacturer have the equipment management, equipment network integration, automatic guide vehicle, production management, quality management, smart equipment. So we use all those information and be collected in our Delta platform in the command center. But we need to consider how to, if we want to achieve the lights out factory, the first and the very important thing, we need to have the environment and the security that will make these things happen. And the energy management is as well. So actually today, we can see that those elements are already implemented in the Delta factory. So we think about that we need to implement in our own factory to make sure all the performance be verified and for the stable. So it's very important. Okay, that's Delta Smart Manufacturing Solution. Okay, which you can match to the previous one. We think those elements are very important. So we base on those elements to generate our smart manufacturing solution. It includes the HGV, WMS, okay, MES, ENI. Those information collected in the smart command center. So the other is the SESMS. I will do a few report for the SEMS by later. Okay, this is equipment network integration. Okay, let's delta the system architecture. We include 4 layers. One is the equipment layer, the other the control layer, and the communication layer, and it's the management layer. So you will see all the layers have the different devices on the elements. So we use our 11 network integration to resolve many the production line the issues. And so far till now, I think we already got the good performance. We already have the over the 70% the manpower saving, and the certified the production line, the area the reduction, and the other have the value, the upper value of the direct labor, the increase over the 50%. So let's today I want to show you that our experience, and maybe for your reference. How to achieve or how to gain those the good performance is because that the Delta did the planning in advance with the 6 key steps. What's the key steps? We think about the regionalization, the standardization, and the modularization, and integration of the real and the virtual, automation, and the intelligence. So those 6 steps, that's why I can get the good performance till now. So you can, but we just think about how the data visualization is very important. So we have the subsystem to generate the product line visualization. So the functional have included line overview. So you can get all the production line information speedily, and the machine running status. After got those information, and then we do the analysis. And also those analysis, we get a real-time monitor and the improvement through line balance analysis. And I think the historical inquiry is also very important. The other visualization is equipment. So we have another subsystem for the equipment visualization, which include the equipment management, quality management, and production management. I think it is most of the company will do for this. Okay, for the equipment management, we have the analysis, machine utilization rate, improve equipment efficiency, to monitor key efforts to increase the productivity through the early alarm, and to monitor the production schedule information in real time, and reduce the time change, the production line change time. Okay. The other is maintenance visualization. We don't think about that the maintenance time is up, so we need to do the maintain. We think it's not very accuracy to do this, and maybe something cost. Maybe something caused the issue. So we do some information from the machine, and we do the data analysis, and we do the prevention, and to provide the suggestion for the production line for the maintenance. So actually that we do some benefits from this. I can say it's over 30% the maintenance fee saving. Okay. So actually we do those subsystem, and finally we need to set the key factor indicator. We need to be met. The one is the flexible product line, because we know that now many manufacturers match the low volume and the mix, the low volume and the high mix, the product, the requirement. So after our visualization information, so we can do many the data and the decision easily to change speedily to change product line. The other is we need to detect and do the adjustment quickly. From those information, we can once we find some parts fail, and then we can deliver the failed parts to relevant maybe the workstation, and to do a good adjustment. The third indicator that we need modularization, because we want to easy to and speedily to change product line, to save the change time for the product line. So that's we got the information from those subsystems. So that we can do for this. So those three key indicators that we need to meet for our smart manufacturer. Okay, so I just show you a video about the Delta smart manufacturer. This video is around maybe 4 to 5 minutes.
So while we're waiting for the video to run up, I have to apologize due to the technical issue that we had there. This is definitely a great example of what challenges we may face in the era of digital transformation, as we are switching from physical, tangible events now everything to be online. Mm-hmm. But I think Ms. Ling's presentation links up pretty well with Dr. Shen's presentation, which I'll get back to you shortly, if we can have a look at the video for now.
Okay. So this video will show once our customer they just released the purchase order from the mobile devices. So they will do the planning from our system, maybe ERP system or maybe APS, advanced planning system. So they will release all the material PO to our supplier, and the material get into our factory, and we will you will see it's not an attended management. So it's all the AGV here. So for my company, our manufacturer type is focused on the SMT line and the assembly. So you will see the process is going to the SMT line. So all the SMT line, the process is automatic, and the assembly is as well, even for the packing. Can we have the voice? Or maybe. So that's our machine arm. So it's a smart AOI. So we use our CCTV and the video and the image the analysis for the AOI. So it's the assembly process. So the packing process. Okay. So that the client will get the information that your order already delivered. Okay, I have the time. Yeah. Okay. So the final session, I will present you about the SESM. What means the SESM? It's the Smart Environment the Security Management. This is our new product. Okay. So our smart equipment, smart environment security management, we have 4 parts, which include surveillance, the people access management, environment management, and the vehicle access management. So for the surveillance management, I think it's very normal for the traditional company, just install the CCTV and to record some image once once something happens, so they will record the record. But I think maybe it's another how to say. Currently, the technology is very advanced. So our surveillance, we can do the electronic fence. So once somebody get into not around the area, so they will have the alarm. Okay, but it's not a real, it's not a physical fence. It's electronic fence. We just use our camera, our product CCTV to do this. And the other is a human and the vehicle, the intelligent tracking. So we will once people or the vehicle go into somewhere, we need to check. So our CCTV will follow the object to check their tracks. And the wandering called the detection. Yeah, that's for some local company. They needed this function. The people access management, we provide a visitor management system, the access management, the face recognition, we gotta have the face recognition the technology. So we do not use the IC card or maybe the QR card for the access control. We already changed to the face recognition for the access control. The next is elevator, the access control. We will automation. Once they reg, you are allowed to enter this building, and they will check which building you locate. So they will send the elevator number. Propose you get into the elevator number, and they will directly send you to the location. Okay. And the localization, we use the LED lighting and with the Bluetooth technology, so can get the the localization. So, the next is the environment management. So IAQ indicator quality. That's our product. We have the indoor air quality, the management. And the other is some maybe some gas, so we need to monitor, and somebody left over or lost the object detection, and energy management is very important. So that's why you said that after our product completed, so we will provide the information how many energy that you spent. Vehicle access management. So we have the license plate recognition, and the EV charger, and the smart parking management. So that's our SESM solution. Because the time limited, so I have a few slides I cannot present. But once you have any question, you can deliver to my mail address or maybe through the TCA. So for today, the presentation, the slide, you can refer that Delta experience. But I think because the technology and some resources that needed, maybe you are looking for the third party to help. I think you can consider Delta, and welcome to find me. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ling. I think Delta has summed up or echoed Dr. Shen's presentation, is that we no longer simply manufacture a single item or device or product, but we provide a total solution of a specific problem. And that's what Delta is doing at the moment. Through your presentation, I think it's a diversifying of different services and solutions. So should you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down at the comment section, and we will certainly deliver them to Ms. Ling for her to reply to you. Now, lastly but not least, we have our fourth speaker, Mr. Eric Low, who is the Chief Marketing Officer from NexAIoT, who is founded in 2014 and is a subsidiary company of Nexcom Group, which is a Taiwanese stock exchange company. So the company is committed to Industry 4.0 and industrial IoT solutions. Now, Eric will be sharing with us his presentation on the integrating AI into your industrial IoT smart manufacturing application. Eric, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the briefing of NexAIoT. Yeah, this is Eric. So today I'm going to give you a brief of our latest status in Industrial 4.0 business. I would like to say not Industrial 4.0, I would say something like smart manufacturing, because it's more real. Because in the past 30, or I would say 200 years, industrial is always real. Yeah, so yeah, it's more real for smart manufacturing as the term. So today I give you the NexAIoT brings the AIoT to life for industry and shape the ecosystem of smart manufacturing. The reason why we are talking about the topic, because we are now play for the game for over 8 years, and it seems like the timing is not yet, because there's no ecosystem. So we are trying to shape the ecosystem first. Otherwise, everybody just talk about their product, their solution, but no customers selling for revenue. Yeah. Okay, let me check. Yeah. This is the trend we discussed with our general manager in 2016. And we see this is a 30 years evolution again from 2015. For the past 5 or 6 years, most of the company are facing the conceptual phase, and some are even more aggressive to do the adaptive phase to make some proof of concept in their production line or factory. And we see this is quite mature since the past 2 years. Everybody talk about the proof of concept for production line management, edge management, warehouse management. But what is exactly Industry 4.0 is, we will talk to you about it later. But since I would say in 2021 to 2025, we foresee this is a commissioning phase. Then it will go through the expanding phase and finally mature in 2050. So we foresee this is the 30 years of business. Okay. It seems like the remote is not actually working.
It's
okay.
for 3 seconds.
Yeah, for 3 seconds, sure, no problem. So as mentioned, industry is always real. So we foresee the Industry 4.0 is a real topic because the basic of Industry 3.0 is always there. The purpose of Industry 3.0 is to maximize the productivity, do the KPI management, and even enhance the efficiency. So as you can see in the past 30 years, SCADA is always there. MES is always there, and the digitalize and the control, connect, manage, and analyze process is always there. This is what we do for the past 30 years for Industrial 3.0. So what's different between Industry 3.0 and 4.0 is that with the machine learning technology to optimize the field data, I would say analyze the field data in the cloud services by the machine learning, then optimize it and do the closed loop control to the control level. So finally, you will migrate your systems to the cloud services like ERP, supply chain management, CIN, MES, and so on. Yeah, another 3 seconds. Yeah. So for the key strategy of NexAIoT, we are trying to migrate all the companies under Industry 3.0 to Industry 3.0 first, then trying to help them to do the digital transformation to the Industry 4.0. Because when you are talking about smart manufacturing, you must have digital factory. If you need to have a smart manufacturing, also smart machinery is required. So the digital machine, or I would say digital twin, is required as well. So my screen is blank now. Give me a few more seconds. Yeah, that's no. Let me tell you a funny joke first. No, sorry.
This is our challenge for digital transformation, isn't it? Here we go.
Always,
Thank you.
always in this year, yeah. So NexCom offer a comprehensive solution from the field. We offer automation system, and we offer the communication gateway to the industry application in IoT or in cloud services. Our final goal is to create digital services, which means it's a software as a service for industrial applications and service our customers. Yeah, all the service behavior were driven by the data, and I would say more like action driven by the data. Okay, this is what we offer. NexCom in-house design IAT 2000 cloud automation system. It's connect the automation field from ground to the database, then to the cloud services. Another 3 seconds. Yeah, please. Yeah. So as you can see in the very bottom of the green canvas, we have an automation solution which offer the comprehensive soft PLC, HMI, redundant PLC, I/O systems, sensors in field to service the traditional OT system integrator. They can create a machine, a facility, equipment, devices, doing a project inside a factory. Then the second layer, which we call edge computing, you can transfer the data to the second layer and store in the database for some database application like MES, like WMS, like APS, and so on, and even EPA. So then we do some application with the IIoT and container supported edge gateway, transfer the data or application to the public cloud to perform the industrial grade software as a services. Next, please. Yeah, and also data on the cloud services, which can analyzed by the machine learning platform as a services, then push the model back to the container edge gateway, then do the control algorithm to effect driven the action for the machine and even production process. Yeah, so our goal is trying to digitize your assets first, then connect your facility in the factory. The purpose, of course, maximize your profit. Everybody wants to make money, right? So next time we implement the solution inside our latest smart factory located in Taoyuan, Linkou. So we actually construct the solution by the system architecture as shown here. And also, this is not only for the manufacturing monitoring, we also management the key performance indicator for during the manufacturing process and display on the intelligent operation center inside our factory for manufacturing owner and even the boss review the KPI day by day. So one of the key to achieve the analysis is we create, I would say, we develop an in-house software called IoT Studio. It's a software based on Node-RED installed inside the edge gateway to do the field data preprocessing and forwarding, and even you can have assets KPI monitoring and alarming inside the machine for your process management. So it's a software inside Yocto Linux. We have also offer IoT Studio as one of the data path define and preprocessing software. And also we have a dashboard. And we also create a Docker manager in this Yocto Linux as well, because more and more applications are based on container technology. This is the base of the container technology. So we can easily use one of the unique function developed by our in-house software team called One Click to Cloud. So you can migrate your data and manage them dashboard to the cloud easily. And even though you can create not only the container on the cloud services, but also it can be easily migrated down to the edge services. And if you have lots of field bus protocol or industrial protocol, you need to connect to the cloud services. You can choose our latest CPS 100 series to get the data from the field to the cloud services. Okay, this is the architecture, or I would say a step for the one click to the cloud services. You can get the data from the machine, from the device, from the sensors, from the robot, from the PLC, through the Modbus protocol, OPC UA, Profibus, Profinet, Ethernet IP, EtherCAT, CAN Open, Serial, TCP, and so on. Then the data collect to the gateway level, do the pre-processing by the IoT Studio. Then we transfer the data by the MQTT or RESTful API to the cloud services. So the purpose why we construct the one-click to cloud services because we want to gain the insight from the field for real time, then pass to the cloud service for manager to easily to manage his factory across nations. Like you have a factory in Taiwan, or you have a factory in China, or even you have a factory in Europe or OS. So we collaborate with AWS because it's a leading AI machine learning solution provider in the world. So with the Edge Gateway, as you can see in the bottom, next come our IPC installed with the IoT Studio software, do the field data collection. Then we transfer the data to the IoT Green Grace, which embedded inside our edge computer. Then we send the data to the IoT core on the AWS. Then the data can be applied or do any kind of application through all kinds of AWS platform as a service. As you can see, you can store the data on S3, or you can use the machine learning environment called SageMaker. So you can do all kinds of creativity application on the cloud services, then feedback to control your field services. Take, for example, your factory process to monitor the availability, how to enhance the availability through the cloud services, machine learning services. So this is not in the future, this is right now, because AWS, they offer the manufacturing reference architecture. You can see how you can use their components. Yeah, and we are in the very bottom at the left side in the factory. You can install IPC as a gateway or as a controller or as a data collector, then transfer the data to the IoT Green Grace. As you can see, the IoT Green Grace then send the data to the IoT core. So we actually implement 3 connectivity to the cloud services. Oops. Yeah, okay. Next, we also collaborate with the Siemens MindSphere because they are leading industrial paths. They offer 200 years experience to create the cloud services. You can use their predictive maintenance services. You can use their asset management systems. You can use their KPI performance insight for machine. So they offer lots of industrial grade applications. So also we collaborate with SAP because most of the machine or manufacturer owner, they would like to connect their field devices directly to the ERP or MES system. So we foresee next time we are not only selling the product and solution. Now we would like to offer more like a consultant services or system integrated services to service our customer. If they are working on level 4, they are familiar with ERP, CRM, SCM systems, but they have no idea how to get the data from the factory. We can do the consultant services to teach them, I would say to coach them how to get the data from machine. So we can offer system integrated services in the field as well. So if our clients, they are traditional factory owner or machine builder, we can also offer the consultant services, how to migrate or connect their data service to the cloud services or machine learning services. So a few more case sharing. We are focusing on device connectivity, visualization system, remote management for past few years. So this is the successful case. We actually work with AWS China They have a building management system. They want to monitor the power meter, the basic power meter to do the energy management analytics. And through our gateway, you can get all the field power parameters to the cloud services, connect to their IoT core, their rule engine action, Lambda, EC2 services, S3 services, and so on, to perform the building energy management system on the cloud. And this is another small facility management system we actually created this year to monitor facility inside the hospital. And they have 4 machines doing the clinic. And we want to know the operation time and the operation efficiency, if it's matched the criteria for the clinic. Yeah. So we get the data through the Mitsubishi PLC to our CPS gateway to get that. Then we push the data to the IoT Green Grace. It's merely the same process. We actually service our field customer to connect with AWS services. So we have a CNC line monitoring and robot line monitoring, and also connect all the facility equipment inside CNC manufacturing with FFG. This is the case we created in 2015. Send all the information to the FFG cloud, FANUC cloud, and Siemens cloud, and the Azure cloud. So this is quite early case we implement in 2014 for most of petrol. They collect the safety control system, factory process automation system, and the AMI system, get all the data to the plant side to do the SCADA analytics, then send all the data back to the enterprises. So we also have a project with MOEA, and this is the frequency element project we implement in 2016. We collect all the manufacturing process for crystal or oscillator, then get the parameter, the data, the parameter through the OPC UA to do the traceability, availability, and even more parameter optimized analytics. So I would say Future Factory is in today. So please contact NexAIoT. We can offer you proposal or system integrator services. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you so much, Charlene and Dr. Shen. I think today obviously digital transformation is. Personally, I think there are 2 parts to this. First part, or one of the parts, is the actual tools. Once the company has decided they are going to transform digitally, or they're going to implement changes to that. I think companies from Taiwan, Malaysia, we have different tools operators that provide solutions for your problem that you need to solve. I think today demonstrated by Eric and by Charlene is a fine example, and also echoes what Dr. Shen and also Martin mentioned, that opportunities between Taiwan and Malaysia is tremendous, so we just have to dig a little bit more. To also echo Jacob, Mr. Chairman, is that certainly we will definitely have more bilateral events like this in the future, so that we can not only encourage cooperations, but also stimulate business opportunities between us. So at the moment, I think we have concluded with our presentation session. We have a little bit of time left. If we have any comments or questions that you'd like to address to our speakers, please do so using the comment section. Remember to please to let us know who the question is for, and also what the question is. So I'll give it maybe a couple of minutes for you to come up with questions. But in the meantime, I have 2 questions. I have one question for Dr. Shen, and I have another one for Eric. So I'm going to go with Dr. Shen because you're one of our senior members here on the panel. So the question is that under the scope of digital transformation and smart manufacturing, what role do you think III plays to facilitate and to enhance IT companies or manufacturers in your view?
Okay, thank you. This is a big question because III has 2,000 employees, and our major mission is to develop software-related technology to support industry development. Actually, there are two parts of it. From the former presentation, there's a term called software as a service. I think this is one of the key words. We are not selling software package only. Actually, we consider software as a service. In the same token, mobility as a service I just mentioned in my presentation is a very important too, because since the mobile capability, not only in the transportation, but in hospital, in factory, we just saw some kind of automated guided machine. They all need mobile capability, but we like to push to one direction, which is the most hardest topic right now here in Taiwan, probably all over the world, is artificial intelligence. But I like to mention that is we are not going to sell any AI product. At the same meaning, we like to put into the direction of AI as a service. So for the last two presentations, we can see there's they are knowledgeable to use those data and through AI computing power, but they are not selling AI modules, but they are using those results to give good decision for the manufacturing. I think that's the end purpose of that. So the quality, the problem is the quality of the data. The volume of the data, is that enough to do a lot of analysis, modeling, and the standard, the spec of the data. I just talked with moderator just now because I think Taiwan is very good in manufacturing, but problem is how come we don't have good, the really good software company in manufacturing management? That's a problem. Actually, our minister keep asking us. So probably they are too diversified. I think one of the basic question is, are those small industry company, they have good standard or spec of those data? Do they treat those data well? Do they have good kind of platform to exchange, to interlink to the upstream or downstream of the industry? So I think this will be the one of the major function for organization like III. Again, III is not government agency. III is not private organization. So we will be able to help industry by some of our technology and some of our survey to work with industry, private company, because they have a lot of experience. They serve for their customers, so they use that input as well as some kind of experience, so that that will be a great help for the Taiwanese manufacturing industry. So I think this is one of the major missions that III tries so hard to contribute, especially in the software perspective. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shen. I used to work at III for a very short period of time, and I quite understood when we talk about quasi government facilities, that facilitating the industry to progress further by not encouraging to perhaps to sell these particular products such as AI product, but to provide a solution to the problem. On the topic of that, so here in Taiwan we have quite a few NPOs and also NGOs. So III is one of them. We also have E3. Those two facilities have research capabilities. We also have TCA, Taipei Computer Association, but we industry driven. We don't have much research capability. So this is just for a basic understanding. We actually see a question on our comment section for Delta, for Charlene, for Ms. Lin. So the question is, can you share the development of wind turbine in Taiwan?
Okay. Actually, this is a good question. Uh, 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 Actually, as my experience, I know we just use the PCL to write down some programming to control the wire turbine. And some workstation we use the robot arm to do this, but because this is not my I'm not very familiar with this. I can provide more information for you. Okay. Is it okay for this question, for this answer?
Yes, certainly. I think that this is a huge question to answer. It's probably difficult to share all the insights here at our panel. But if you be so kind, I'm not too sure FM who FM is. But if you could maybe leave us some further details, we'll definitely ask Charlene to come back to you regarding wind turbines.
Yeah, could you leave the contact information, and I will send me more detail like about how to implement this process flow from the Delta.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's a very good question, by the way. It's a huge one.
Yeah.
So just before the next question comes in, I think I have one question for Eric. This comes as perhaps one of the most talked about situation right now is because we have this COVID-19 pandemic going, and it has certainly affected many companies, especially manufacturing. So for the benefit of our participants online, how can manufacturers, both in Malaysia or in Taiwan or anywhere else, construct a cross or multinational digital factory system to reduce the damages caused by crises such as COVID-19?
Yeah, I would say COVID-19 is a very good situation for digital transformation this year. Yeah, not only for the information technology, but also for the manufacturing, not only in China, but also in worldwide. So it pushes us to understand the limits. If you manufacture in a single country, then ship outside the world, you will get some supply chain issues. Yeah, so how to solve this? We foresee the first, you need to digitize your factory, yeah, and also machine. How to do that? Yeah, use an edge gateway to connect all the data from the machine and the process from the factory, and make a modeling for your factory as a digital factory, and also make the modeling for your machine as a digital twin. Then connect all the information. So you can get all the information, then put to the cloud services. Take, for example, you can know if there's a customer order from US, and you will check your ERP and see if there's inventory, and then you can see if there's efficiency resource from the production line. So you can get all the information immediately, then even respond more fast and prior when there's no resources. Then everything can, I would say, sequentially and with a methodology to get the order in fast lead time, I would say inventory in fast lead time, and do some forecast with a CRM. Then everything can run organizedly. Yeah. So digitize is definitely the most important progress now. But I would say for the past few years, 90% of the company are still trapped in the digitalization process. But we foresee there's another driven pillar is that you need to set up a topic or a KPI or what we call magical number exactly for your business and operation. Then you will know the meaning, how to do the digital transformation. It's a result and application oriented process. So we encourage the manufacturer or operation owner to understand their business pain and find the magical number to enhance the operation efficiency and the profit. Then we can reverse thinking how we can offer the solution and help them. Yeah.
Thank you. Certainly, I mean, one of the it is difficult to say this, but obviously because we have this pandemic situation, it has actually driven many of these companies to rethink how they can improve to reduce the damages. I know this is this question involves of factories. So I would imagine Delta, Charlene, perhaps have some insights to maybe would like to comment on this problem or this question in regards to digitalize your factory system for future. Before we request Charlene to reply, I think there's a request for Eric to leave contact.
Personal or company contact?
Yes, I would imagine this is business orientated. So yes, maybe later we will definitely provide speaker contact information for our guests online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. So in regards to creating or setting up for business owners or factory owners in such a way that it reduces the problems that has affected due to crisis such as COVID-19. What is your comments or perhaps views on that you can suggest? Because from your presentation, we see there's a lot of interesting solutions for factories. So would you recommend that this is a good time for factory owners to rethink on how they can operate so that in future we don't have so much of damage?
Yeah, I think that my topic will be very fit into the COVID-19 the impact, because it's almost did not anybody to handle the process. Yeah, and then from the Delta side, because we launched smart manufacturing in 2015, so actually we already reduced the manpower. I don't want to say the reduce the manpower. I need to say saving. Is over the over the 70%. So in the Delta, the manufacturing, the production line, we just left maybe from the 40 people to 3 people. Yeah, it's big. The change. Actually, that from the global our employee, it's over the 80,000. Yeah, and so far till now, we already have we don't reduce many people, but we transfer. Yeah, like the transformation, we transfer those the labor to do more advanced job. Yeah, so I think yeah, it's a good direction for the for like the small manufacturer. Yeah.
Thank you. I think one of the key issues that we like to address here on the topic of digital transformation is that it is not the aim to cut down your staff members. It's perhaps to allow staff members to really concentrate on what they need to do in a better method, how we can deliver products, how we can deliver services in a way that our clients would perhaps like them to receive in the future. So perhaps maybe Dr. Shen can comment on that, is that when we talk about digital transformation, I think if you're a business owner, obviously you think, oh, okay, perhaps this is an opportunity for me to cut down manpower, but it's actually not. It's actually not that purpose. The purpose is to upgrade our human resource capability. It's not to reduce, but to upgrade those skills so that we could work dynamically, more efficiently. What is your view on that?
Yeah, actually, again, I'm not a manufacturing expert, but I just mentioned that just a few weeks ago, I talked with my colleague, which is industry analysis. He said the goal for purchase of manufacturing is it's kind of changing from just in time into just in case. You know, now for the resource allocation or so-called flexibility about this kind of transformation is quite big. So that will be one case. The second case is the former presentation mentioned about some kind of digital transformation. Actually, from Tripwire's point of view, they are slightly different into two parts. One is you have better efficiency by using digital technology. Actually, you are doing still the same thing, but with better efficiency. The higher value of digital transformation is you can create new model, new way of doing business because of the transportation. So I think artificial intelligence could be the good example for once you notice that your data, probably you can create new way of doing business from your data or from all kinds of model, or from the other side, you dig out some kind of potential need from your customers. So that's two level of digital transformation. I think the government will focus on both sides because they have different kind of prerequisites for. We are not trying to encourage every company to go to new business model. It could be harmful for most of the time. So only those I think that the leading company with some kind of industry advantage or some kind of technology advance, so that they can provide this kind of leadership kind of role. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think we're just about out of time. So on behalf of the Taipei Computer Association and of course our partner, the Federation of Manufacturing in Malaysia, I would like to sincerely thank everybody who joins in at our webinar this afternoon to address if it's now the time for digital transformation. Thank you so much. I'd like to sincerely thank all our speakers here in Taiwan and also from Malaysia as well. Thank you so much, and we hope to catch you at our next webinar. Thank you so much. Have a good day.